And I am incredibly thankful for the support and partnership that other law enforcement agencies and prosecuting agencies have shown in combating this problem. Towards that end, I'd like to now introduce our Los Angeles City Attorney, Heidi Feldstein-Soto.
Thank you, and thank you very much for that. Good morning, everybody. First of all, I am so pleased to be here and so grateful to have a district attorney who stands, as our mayor would say, locking arms with law enforcement agencies, with politicians, and with service providers. This kind of initiative really only can work with the sort of leadership and consequences that DA Hochman brings to the table. I also want to thank Chief McDonnell and his entire team, especially the South Bureau and the 77th Street Station, because we've been at this work and the Human Trafficking Task Force for a couple of years. And thank you, Chief, for your support. It brings a lot to the table. A lot of this started for me with our Council President Marqueece Harris-Dawson. I took office, and then Council Member Harris-Dawson said to me, "I want to take you on a ride-along." And the ride-along down the Figueroa corridor certainly opened my eyes as someone who'd lived in Los Angeles since 1982, cocooned on the West Side. There were things in open air that I had not seen, and I was particularly stricken by something called the kiddie stroll, Kiddie, and my focus was on the children, on the minors, on the little girls largely, a couple of little boys who were being trafficked by adults for sex up and down the corridor, ranging from children who had been taken away from their biological families to runaways, to children kidnapped out of group homes, or otherwise vulnerable to being exploited in that fashion. So on this month, because January is the National Human Trafficking Month, and the connections for this year, the theme for this year, are stronger connections, stronger futures. And yes, we need to put traffickers behind bars where they don't see the light of day. And yes, we need consequences for what did you call them? Buyers and sexploitators. But I stood in front of the former U.S. attorney and the former district attorney to try to put this kind of a coalition together. It did take DA Hochman's leadership to lift it to the next level. But I said that we had 4 objectives, not just 3. Objective number 1 was to put the predators in jail. That should be a felony. That should fall to the DA or the U.S. attorney. Objective number 2 was to start disrupting the demand. Because if we don't disrupt the demand, if there continue to be people who with impunity in broad daylight can buy the sexual services of our children without consequences for them, we're never going to be able to stop the practice. So yes, shifting the focus from incarcerating the workers or the exploited individuals to having consequences, whatever those consequences may be, up to and including incarceration for the buyers of the sexual services. 3 is rescuing the victims. I do view children being sold for sex as victims. These are not people who deserve to be treated strictly on a criminal justice perspective. They're often in situations where they have no options and no choice, subjected to violence, subjected to abuse. And so having organizations, not only Forgotten Children, but so many of the others we've worked with, whether it be Journey Out or Sister Friends, to provide a landing ramp for some of these young children. And then to have, and I call upon our community, the same way we have risen to reintegrate formerly incarcerated individuals into our workforce, I urge employers, I urge our community, I urge our labor unions to step up and form apprenticeship programs and training programs and start to reintegrate these young people and provide them with a path to hope. And the last place that we do need to focus on, that my office has focused on, is the places, the landlords, the slumlords, the owners of property who make it available for this kind of sexploitation, the places that are magnets for illegal conduct and illegal activity. I will differ a little bit from our district attorney. I would not call it slavery, Because at the end of the day, slavery was government sanctioned. It was the government who said it's okay to do this. That's not what we have here, thankfully. That's the ray of light that permits law enforcement to step in and do something. This isn't the law that is basically exploiting these young women. It is human beings, and it is human beings who deserve to pay consequences. We pioneered a number of techniques in my office, which I'm very proud of, because when the former DA's office wouldn't prosecute a number of these cases, we charged as many times as we could. We asked for the maximum sentence for each charge, and then we would stack the charges and ask the court to run the sentences consecutively. So even though I'm only responsible for the prosecution of misdemeanors committed by adults within the city of LA, we have put child sex abusers behind bars for up to 11 years. Misdemeanor is only 1 year, and we take these crimes incredibly seriously. It is said that failure is an orphan, success has many fathers. I think it isn't just that success has many fathers. I think that it is only by coming together, it is only with the jurisdiction of the District Attorney's Office that goes to Long Beach, where I can't go, that goes to Pomona, where I can't go, that really treats these crimes with felony, that we will finally make a real lasting dent in the open air exploitation of our young people. I thank you all for being here and for giving this issue your attention, and I join our district attorney and our chief of police and our council president in urging our community to come forward and help us do this work. Let's keep the young people safe. Let's shut down the places where trafficking occurs. Let's put Johns behind bars, if that's what it takes to give them the seriousness of the consequences, and let's put the predators away for a long time. Thank you.